Have you ever wondered how one battle could change the course of a nation's history? Let's rewind to the year 1066 to the Battle of Hastings. King Harold of England, weary from a previous battle, faced William, the Duke of Normandy. Despite his valiant efforts, King Harold met his end on the battlefield, ushering in the start of Norman rule. The Normans brought with them a new language, new laws, and a new way of life that dramatically reshaped the English landscape. Stone castles began to dot the countryside, while cathedrals and monasteries sprouted in towns and cities. The introduction of feudalism reshaped the political structure, creating a society where loyalty was owed to the king. However, the most profound change was the fusion of the French and Anglo-Saxon cultures, which ultimately birthed the English language as we know it today. Thus, the Norman conquest marks a turning point in British history, laying the groundwork for the nation we know today. How did a piece of parchment redefine the balance of power in Britain? Let's take a step back to the year 1215. An island nation was on the brink of civil war, with rebellious barons rising against an overbearing king. King John, known for his relentless pursuit of power, found himself cornered, with no choice but to make a reluctant agreement. That agreement was the Magna Carta, a document that would emerge as the cornerstone of British constitutional law. It was not just a peace treaty, but a revolutionary declaration. It laid the groundwork for fundamental principles we hold dear today: the rule of law, the right to a fair trial, and the concept that even a monarch is not above the law. This piece of parchment was more than just ink and skin. It represented a shift in power, a move towards a more balanced society. The Magna Carta remains a symbol of freedom against arbitrary rule, a testament to the enduring spirit of liberty. When did the seeds of modern democracy first take root in Britain? In the 13th century, a significant event occurred that would fundamentally shape the governance of Britain, and indeed, the world. The establishment of the English Parliament marked the beginning of a journey towards a more representative and accountable system of governance. Initially, the Parliament was a tool of the monarchy, used to legitimize royal decrees and collect taxes. But as centuries rolled on, it evolved, gradually gaining power and influence. By the 17th century, the English Civil War had put Parliament firmly in the driver's seat, marking the rise of parliamentary democracy. This wasn't just a change in the political landscape of Britain, but a beacon of hope for nations around the globe. The English Parliament served as a model, a template for other countries to build their own democratic systems, paving the way for the democratic ideals we hold dear today. The English Parliament was a pioneering force, setting the stage for democratic systems around the world. What happens when religion and royalty collide? Welcome to the Tudor period, a historical era that saw the clash of divine and monarchic forces. The Tudors, an ambitious dynasty, left an indelible mark on Britain, transforming it both politically and religiously. King Henry VIII, a name synonymous with the Tudor period, stirred the waters of the Catholic Church, leading to a break that would redefine the religious map of Britain. Dissatisfied with the Pope's refusal to annul his marriage, Henry took matters into his hands, establishing the Church of England and declaring himself its supreme head. This monumental shift was not merely a personal whim of a frustrated king. It was a calculated move, a political gambit that gave the monarchy control over the church and its wealth, allowing them to consolidate power. The Tudor period was a time of dramatic change, shaping the religious landscape of Britain forever. This era was a crucible, a time of turmoil and transformation that still echoes in the Britain we see today. How did a civil war redefine political power in Britain? The mid-17th century bore witness to a transformative period in British history, known as the English Civil War. It was a time of intense conflict that pitted the monarchy led by King Charles I against Parliament. The war was fueled by disputes over political power and religious freedoms. The monarchy, once the unrivaled centre of authority, was challenged by Parliament, which sought to limit the king's power. The struggle culminated in the unprecedented execution of Charles I, a shocking act that sent ripples through the nation and beyond. In the aftermath, the monarchy was temporarily abolished, and Parliament, with Oliver Cromwell at its helm, reigned supreme. This period marked the rise of parliamentary democracy in Britain, shifting the balance of power and setting the tone for future governance. The English Civil War was a pivotal moment, marking the transition from monarchy to parliamentary rule. How did Britain transform from a rural society to an industrial powerhouse? The answer lies in the late 18th century, a period of profound change and upheaval known as the Industrial Revolution. This was the time when Britain shifted from a predominantly agrarian rural society to an industrial and urban one, a transformation that would forever change the face of the nation. The Industrial Revolution was a time of groundbreaking technological advancements. It was the age of the steam engine, the power loom, and the spinning jenny. These inventions, among others, revolutionized manufacturing, creating a shift from hand production methods to machines. But the changes went beyond just technology. The Industrial Revolution also had a profound impact on society and the economy. With the growth of factories came the growth of cities. People from rural areas flocked to urban centers in search of work, leading to a massive urbanization process. Cities like Manchester and Birmingham expanded rapidly, their populations swelling with workers drawn to the promise of steady employment in the burgeoning industries. Alongside this, the economy transformed as well. The rise of the factory system led to the growth of new industries and the creation of a new working class. The Industrial Revolution also fostered the development of modern capitalism, with an emphasis on mass production and the accumulation of wealth. But the Industrial Revolution was not without its challenges. It brought about significant social and economic inequalities. The working conditions in factories were often harsh and dangerous, and many workers lived in poverty. These injustices sparked movements for social reform and workers' rights, shaping the Britain we know today. In essence, the Industrial Revolution was a time of radical change and innovation that laid the groundwork for the modern world. It transformed Britain from a rural society to an industrial powerhouse, setting the stage for the nation's future development. The Industrial Revolution dramatically transformed Britain, setting the pace for modern industrialized societies. How did a small island nation come to rule vast territories around the globe? As we delve into the historical narrative, we find ourselves in the era of the British Empire, a time when the sun literally never set on its territories. It was an epoch of exploration, expansion, and exertion of control, with Britain's tendrils reaching out to every corner of the globe. The British Empire was not just about the acquisition of land and resources. It was also about the spread of culture, ideas, and a certain way of life. From the Americas to Asia, from Africa to Australasia, British influence permeated societies, leaving a legacy that can still be felt today. The empire was built on a combination of naval prowess, economic power, and diplomatic maneuvering. Britain, in its quest for global dominance, established colonies, protectorates, and dominions. The empire was a complex web of territories, each playing its part in the grand tapestry of British global rule. However, the empire was not without its controversies. The collision of cultures, the exploitation of resources and people, and the imposition of foreign rule caused deep-seated tensions. These tensions often erupted into conflicts and rebellions, marking the empire's history with periods of unrest and turmoil. As the 20th century dawned, the winds of change began to blow. The clamor for independence grew louder in many colonies. Britain, ravaged by 2 world wars and changing global dynamics, started the process of decolonization. One by one, nations under British rule began to gain their independence, marking the beginning of the end of the empire. The sun eventually set on the British Empire, but its impact remains. Today, the Commonwealth of Nations, a political association of 54 member states, almost all former territories of the British Empire, stands as a testament to this historical period. The British Empire left a lasting legacy, shaping geopolitics and cultural identities around the world. Its influence is a complex tapestry of triumphs and trials, of exploration and exploitation, of cultural exchange and cultural imposition. Its story is a crucial chapter in the annals of global history. How did Britain stand strong in the face of global conflict? This question takes us to the heart of the 20th century, a period marked by two world wars that tested the mettle of nations. In this era, Britain emerged as a formidable force, demonstrating resilience and a sense of global responsibility. In the First World War, Britain's strategic prowess, exemplified by figures like David Lloyd George and Winston Churchill, was instrumental in the Allied victory. The nation's industrial strength and its empire's vast resources were mobilized to support the war effort. The Second World War saw Britain once again at the forefront of the fight against tyranny. Churchill's inspirational leadership, coupled with Britain's indomitable spirit, helped turn the tide against the Axis powers. The nation endured the Blitz, stood alone against the Nazi onslaught for a time, and ultimately played a pivotal role in liberating Europe. Britain's role in the world wars was a testament to national resilience and global responsibility. So, what does this journey through time tell us about Britain? Our voyage through the annals of British history has revealed a nation that has consistently been at the heart of pivotal global events. From the Battle of Hastings, which established Norman rule and changed the course of English history, to the signing of the Magna Carta, a beacon of liberty and a cornerstone of democratic principles. We've seen the Tudor period's religious reforms and the rise of parliamentary democracy following the English Civil War. We've explored the Industrial Revolution, which transformed Britain and ignited a new era worldwide. We've witnessed the expansion of the British Empire, spreading its influence across the globe, and we've delved into Britain's significant role in the world wars,